Alright, YouTube. So, I was Twitch streaming a realistic battle gameplay of tanks. We started to play tanks in War Thunder, and I'm not very good at it, but I wanted to try realistic because it makes the game a little more intense, a little more interesting. So during the Twitch feed, I erred, and it was oh no. And luckily War Thunder does keep replays of your gameplay, at least for a limited amount of time. So I'm gonna go ahead and take that replay, and I'm gonna go ahead and post that up. Unfortunately, during the replay, it shows like the enemy names and stuff, which you don't see in realistic. But it is what it is. Since my Twitch stream unfortunately just errored halfway through, right when it was getting good. So a little bit about me in tanks and realistic. I am terrible at it, and I'm starting with the US line. I only have a few tanks unlocked. I have played arcade, limited, but realistic is a completely different animal. It's a beast of an entirely different nature, and I've got some video of it, and it's been very bad. Nothing I've wanted to post at this time. Not that I'm against posting the stuff where I do terrible. My whole idea and premise is I'm not good at a lot of these games. You're going to watch my progression as I learn these games. So hopefully you see me get better. But for now, you're probably just going to see me fail a lot, which is fine, and we all learn from that, hopefully. But this match was really interesting. I don't know what it was about it, but everything seemed to line up. Mostly by dumb luck. No planning by me. I don't even know this map. I just happened to be in the right place at the right time and in the right positioning. So this was very interesting. I went way afield. It looks like I kind of split away from where a lot of people seem to be going towards A. I went ahead and went over here towards B. Followed a couple guys that were going that way. Now again, you see all these red names. They were not showing for me in realistic. I didn't know where these guys were. Realistic doesn't work like arcade where you can see people, so every time I see a player at the start here, it's mostly by dumb luck, where I caught this guy over here, and I was like, hey, let me help this other tank out, and boom, and I was very surprised by that. Another one looks like it got away that I actually didn't even notice that last time. So, yeah, never even noticed that tank there was behind those trees, because again, those names don't show in realistic. I think I've said that enough times now that you probably get the idea. So, after killing that tank, I was feeling pretty good, because normally in realistic I'm dead by now. I was feeling pretty good, and I'm not really sure of the map, so I want to kind of look around and kind of get my idea, and I got ahead and, kind of start moving forward. I play very cautiously in realistic, because I don't know the maps. I don't know where the tanks like to sit and who likes to position where. So you just kind of see me going very slowly. Looking at the video now, I can see where I missed some tanks just by dumb luck of not being at the right place at the right time. and just never saw them. But it all pans out in the end here, as you're going to see here shortly, hopefully. I kind of move forward again very cautiously, not being used to the maps. I know a lot of people tend to have, like, where they go certain ways all the time, and I don't know those ways yet. Killed that guy with a little extra machine gun fire. Got lucky with that guy. Now, by this time, I was feeling really good. This is probably the best I've done in realistic so far. So I was pretty much ready to call that as like, hey, this is going to be the best that it's going to get. And I don't really know where to go from here. So kind of hanging out. Not sure if anyone else is going to come. No one does. So I go ahead and push my luck, and I decide to kind of go look around, see who else might be around, if anyone else has come into this area. And so far, nothing's really going on. Again, not knowing the map, I decide to go to this far edge over here. I don't know why, really. But, at the time, again, I didn't see anyone, and judging by the map, I believe there were some tanks that had gotten past me at this point. But, I'm cruising around, taking a sightseeing tour of this map level. I get to this field area, and I notice that they've got their A point is over there. And that's where I spot this guy. And they're coming in from there. So we decide to go after him. And as you can see here, he kind of got away from that first shot, but... And that was me just not accounting for the bounce. This guy's just not noticing me. Boom. Alright. So I kind of feel, oh, you know, hey, that went well. So I go ahead and peek my head out over here, and I see this armored truck. Now, I couldn't get him. It was just dumb luck. I wasn't able to do it, but using the camera view that I was using, I was able to see that this other guy is coming in here. Now, I thought he had kind of saw me, or had the idea that I was here, since he kind of started coming this way and looking. But it may have just been a fluke. Maybe he just decided he was going that way. Maybe he did know I was there, and maybe I got to jump on it. I don't know. But here we go. And that worked out really well. Now, I know this other tank was flying by, and I just kind of decide to see if we can kind of get him here. And I can't see him through the trees, but here he is, and boom, another lucky shot. Now, while looking over the hill, I see there's some other guys coming in this way. And I figure, well, you know, if this is the way that they're coming in, I'm going to kind of head and camp this little area a bit. You know, I'm behind a wall, which is nice. So they can't see me. You know, and I can kind of spot them with that third-person view. Forgot about this guy that I had killed him earlier, so I was just checking. Yeah, no, he is dead. And there's this tank there. You know, they go pretty quick along that flat land here, and let's get a ridiculously lucky shot there. That guy goes down. And then I see this truck. Now, I feel that this truck finally knows where I am. And, you know, he's getting behind me. There's a wall there, and so I don't know really what he was going to do. But it kind of worked out for me. And I'm able to destroy that truck there. So, at this point, I was very amazed with this game. And Twitch had broke right around here. So I wasn't sure how much Twitch had actually got. So I was a little concerned with that. Just because, hey, you know, wow, I actually was feeling pretty proud of this game, and I wanted to share this with people I know and people that like are viewing the channel and some of the subscribers. I'm very excited about the tank gameplay in this, and I am trying to get a couple of people together to maybe start doing squad battles in this as we kind of learn together, hopefully. Or if anyone's experienced and they'd like to kind of add me, you know, go ahead, definitely. This could be a lot of fun, you know. So, so here is where it kind of starts getting a little boring, though. There's oh, there goes that guy. So got that guy. Forgot I got him. It was that was completely another wild shot that I wasn't sure if it was going to do anything, but it did. Again, these tanks, you know, if you're hitting them at the front, they're very armored, but those side shots, right around, if you can get between the turret and the lower like body armor, and I don't know the names for these things. I'm sure people know really good terminology for these, but if you can get those shots, it seemed to be doing very well for me. Just standard rounds. I'm not using anything fancy. The tank is, I believe, fully upgraded, but that's about it. That's all that's really going on there. So at this point, we just start kind of cruising around. We're looking for any action, and it's seeming really dead. It looks like my team's kind of all over the place here. And I'm not seeing any action. I'm not hearing any fire. No one's really calling anything out. We seem to be doing really well at this point, and I'm not really sure what to do. So, again, not knowing the map, and it's not really striking me to start heading towards the enemy A point yet. So I keep looking, seeing if they're going towards that field again. I feel like they kind of stopped doing that. Maybe it was due to me. Maybe it was due to something else. I'll just like to think that it was due to me and doing so much damage over in that point. But again, at this point, I'm not really sure. And since I can't see those names, I'm not aware of that, like those tanks being up on the hill there. I do start looking for friendly, where the fire point's coming from. You see some of those kind of tracers, and kind of use that as an idea to be like, okay, there's got to be guys up there, and they've got to be coming from this right point over here. So that's kind of where we're going to start focusing on, I feel. You can see me here, just kind of, again, lost, not sure what to do. The street signs aren't helping. They're saying don't go that way, so I don't want to go that way, obviously. Now, it's interesting with this tank. This is a starter, not a starter, it's not one of the reserve starter tanks, but it's one of the first tanks you can unlock. And it's a lighter tank, so it's got some speed to it. I believe I was going about 30 miles per hour over flat land in this on one map. So you can get pretty quick. Obviously in the city, the speed's not going to help you flat out, but being able to get behind buildings and all that, duck around, can really be useful. Here, I just passed one of my friend buddies here, so I saw that he's going that way, so I kind of feel like, oh, okay, well, if everyone's heading that way, I better start heading that way too. I'm going to go back over to my point where I was earlier. Kind of feel like if they're going back there, and they weren't, surprisingly. But again, yeah, so this tank, forward-facing machine guns, as well as the one turret one. I never really used to utilize those in-game, not really feeling like they would do much, but surprisingly, using them becomes in very handy. There's quite a few times now where I've done damage, got points, or even a kill using the machine gun, so I've definitely learned to start really utilizing those, but not trying to use them to give away my position, if that makes any sense. So here, I'm not seeing anyone. I mean, the other tanks in my group seem to be seeing people up there. I'm not seeing them. I might just be way too far away. My eyes are pretty bad as it is, so everything on the screen looks terrible to me. As I go through destroying some farmers' fields, I'm sure they're very angry at the U.S. military for coming in here and just running over everything. You know, hopefully no cattle ran away after I was done with that. But yeah, so I see the 8 points being captured. I'm seeing some fire, and at this point, we're so far into the battle. I've got a decent kills going on. My team's kind of doing really well for itself. I'm like, let's go for broke. Let's just start heading in there and go for the cap. Obviously missed that completely. Not really good with those long shots and judging those yet. So I'm gonna get behind some trees to try and cover from those tanks that are on the left. Or the one tank that I knew was there. It looks like there was a couple there at this point. And I'm kind of surveying the cap point. I know we have a guy out there, and the cap was happening. Not seeing anything still. It's a very, very dull part of the realistic battles, because when you're in realistic battles, if you're not able to see them, you don't run as recklessly into things. So again, everything's very cautious. See that something must be up there, because that tank there is on fire now, which I know was just up there earlier capping. And I noticed that the cap is been lost. And then I see one of our tanks going in there, and I'm like, well, if he's going to go in there, I'm going to go in there. So in a couple minutes here, I'm going to start moving out towards that way, try and use the speed that I have to my advantage when I'm cutting across this open land here. And then just while we go, just one thing I'd love to point out about this game is the detail that they put into this game. I mean, the tank skins, the models are great. The interactivity with the ground when the tanks drive over them, I mean, is amazing. When you start going through muddy areas or snow, the way it leaves like the indentations into the ground and everything from just the sheer weight of the tank is amazing. Just even watching all the dirt flying around and start getting on the tank, I could swear that the mud actually does build up on the vehicle, which is amazing in and of itself. But there you go. That's it, and I hope you guys enjoyed it. Again, it was one of my better matches here. 9 kills, no deaths. I never popped into a plane or anything like that. Nothing super fancy. I did get quite a lot of medals for that. It was definitely worth it. Best realistic battle I've had, probably better than even some of the arcade games that I have had so far. And I think I'm going to be hooked on realistic going forward, so hopefully you'll start seeing more videos for tank pop up. Hopefully this was a good start for tank videos. Thank you for watching.